Oh my God. What is this? Unscheduled appearance. Yes, it is. All right. Yeah. And I've got to, I kind of need to rehearse this idea. I had been planning to start a school like my mother did. For anybody that's been following my stream, I gradually want to fill people in on where my head's at so we can see if we could get something going. I'm not a big, really, it's sort of like I wanted to start like a Montessori school because I have a young daughter or whatever, and that's what my mom did when I was very small. Is she started a Montessori school in our house in East Atlanta, a very small house, and when she got enough kids going to her Montessori school and was doing really successful, we got a big place in Cedar Creek Apartments and did the Montessori school there. And, she was just on her own. And I never got down to brass tacks with her about why she discontinued it, but she ended up stopping it and instead of expanding it further, went to some other job. And now that she's passed away, I can't really tell. But I have been teaching computer graphics and game development and doing computer graphics and game development and web development, graphic design for about 30 years. And with the pandemic and everything, I think it's a good time to work on more online schools, right? So if anybody, it's like I'm doing everything by myself, and I've got a lot going on over here where I get up early in the morning and try to do everything that I need to do. And at the end, it's not enough. As Noam Chomsky said, you can't do it alone, but you got to tirelessly pursue, and this is what we call tikkun olam, the repairing of the world, right? Because our country, the whole world is in a big disaster situation, right? Capitalism and consumerism and all this stuff. We're wrecking the environment, and we really need to change. We really need to break out of the norms of the system, as it were. And if you've heard some of my commentary on the public school system down here in Georgia, I think it's harmful, right? So I'd like to make a school that's a different, more effective kind of school. Now this summer would be a great time, and what I'm planning to do is this: if you're interested in working with me, I'm going to be in contact with a lot of parents when the summer comes around, and I was like talking about doing. An informal online game development thing. A lot of these people, they don't have a lot of money. They're poor, right? And they're struggling, but their kids want to do game development and play games and stuff like that. And to me, I'm at the point where I can see these kids would learn more math by learning how to play games and how to do game development than they do in the public school system. So what I'm saying is, what I'm interested in is, it's like, if you like the idea, get with me, talk to me online, and I have a base of students that I have been working with for the past several years, and I'm going to be calling their parents and seeing if they want to participate. And I'm not looking to harvest a lot of cash off of them at first, right? And what my plan is to set up some online game development courses to teach kids about coding and about game development. And I'm going to say, and get ready for this, I'm going to say it's free, but if you want to give us, something, you can just Zelle us. So we'll make a program and I'm just casting this message in a bottle out into the ocean to people who want to help and do good things for our children and our communities or whatever. If you want to get involved with it, that's the way I'm going in. I'm not going in like Jeff Bezos. We're not going to hire anybody unless they share our maniacal views of how to take over the world and go to outer space so we can reinvade the earth and conquer it. I want to make an alternative to Amazon. A world or a society where economic activity is taking place for mutual benefit of members of the community. So if you're down with that, please join me, like and subscribe to my screen. My stream. My stream, and maybe we'll get together and make some changes for the better in the world, because it's needed. A lot of people are hurting, they're in pain, and I'm sorry that they are, but ooh, yeah, we're gonna get it. I'm sorry, Freya. I'm sorry. Let's spin the big wheel. Who would ever use that? I don't even have a Redux. Man, I'm like in the hobo level. Oh, but wait a minute. They give me 12,000. How did that work? Oh, okay. I'm at the stage of the Vault Blitz where I get the 12,000. Any way to get me some more coins, that's what I need. No, not another stupid scam. Let's see if this one. Oh, I got 2 deathmatch tickets, and it's free for all. You know I love that. Hopefully we'll see some really cool friends and stuff. Oh, I love this spot. Oh, no, don't tell me it's all bots. Oh, there's Roger. I sort of know. Ooh, just like that, little bit sticking out. Rally, oh, dang it. Oh, I sort of fell like it. Dead now. Come on over here, buddy. What are you, chicken? Yeah, come on. Why don't you come over? Huh? Why don't you come over? Huh? Why don't you come over? Better make up your mind. Oh, yeah? Didn't expect to see an Aries down here? Oh, come on. Oh, dang it. MSN. I don't know who this Joker is. Missile rack with 50,000 damage? I can't understand. It's okay. Rally. Who are you? Bob saves on that. Okay, ground sick is not isn't like I hate how when they're flashing red like that, you can't really shoot at them. I was telling my finger, don't press the button because you can't. Oh! And, you know, I saw that guy wandering. What's he got? Yeah. A 70,000 damage. Yeah, like I can really withstand that. See on the other side. Okay. Rally, you know, he's got, you know, he's like dealing 70,000 damage. Here he comes again. See, I don't have enough. And I really didn't take his damage down. His mecha's got 60,000 hit points. Oh yeah, like I really can withstand that. Dun, 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 dun. Come on. Oh. At least I'll touch you a little bit. Make sure you go focus on somebody else. Up. Man, dang it. Long arm 12? Jeez. Like I can really. I'm supposed to do it that. Long arm 12. I would love to kill you. See, it went right through my fence like it was my. Good. Die. I wish they would fill the whole dang place up with these squad droppers. Like, be able to detect that you're doing squad dropper stuff, right? You got like an overwhelming. You got a mech with more hit points than 3 opponents combined, right? They could detect that and put all you jerks together. That'd be a cool thing to update, right? I don't even know. Well, am I going back in? Let's see. No, I don't want to leave. I want to go back in here. Face them and like. What did this guy got? 70,000 damage. It's very, you know, I just feel like that is a challenge that you know, I can face it and overcome it with skills. Okay, I know you, buddy. How you doing? Come on, that's so awesome of you to just stand there. Here comes Rally again. Right. That's okay, Rally. I got infinite mechs. Kill me as many times as you want. He's just cycling around. Kill. One by one. Kill everybody. Nobody can touch him. Here he comes. Hey, here we go. Just go ahead and kill me. 70,000 points. Yeah. What is that? Sure. What do you want to send to me? Yeah, do I need to get off here? Are you telling me you're going to get mad if I don't get off? What do you want to do? I don't know what, I don't understand. And I'm right in the middle of something. If you give me just a minute, I'll be out. What do you want to send to me? Give me just a few minutes. Yeah. Let me go. Let me go over here. Hey, Rally, how you doing? Okay. Well, he's cheating, right? See, he does 70,000 points of damage. Nobody can withstand him, so I just stand there. I don't even try to fight him. Yeah. Here, let me go find him again. Hey, Rally. Hey, I'm over here. Why don't you just kill me? I'm not going to put my shield up. Hey, Rally, what's the matter? Rally, what's the matter? Chicken or something? Look, watch this guy, Rally, over here. Rally, you think you're hiding or something? Go ahead, Rally. Okay, he's got. All right, so let's see if I can jump down here with Rally. Yeah. Let's see. I just want to have a nice, relaxing. Well, I'm going all through here. I just totally. Oh, there he was. He got me again. So he got 26. See, nobody. What he's doing is he's cheating. He's got his squad power. He's 27. Yeah, he's cheating. So notice how Daddy. I'm not mad, right? Daddy didn't get mad at him because I know that what he's done is he's dropped his squad. He lowered. Let me show you. Well, that's up to the company, right? Now, see, you see, I have a certain squad power that's based on my, like, look at my hit points, 52,000 hit points. So if he can hit me one time and do 70,000, I don't have enough coins. Well, let's see. I do have enough coins. I don't know if I really want that, though. You want to get that? Are you sure? Let's see what it can do. Energy capacity. I don't know if it... Well, look. No, see, look. See the HP? Look. It looks strong, right? But look this number here, 52,800. That's what the Ares has. He only has 12,400. See how it's red? It means it's very, very weak. It's not a powerful mech. I think it's like for beginner players. It looks very cool, but it's not exactly. Let's look at our hit points here. All right, so hit points here, 33,300. So that guy, he deals 70,000 hit points with one shot, right? So nothing can withstand that. Let's look at the Zephyr. Okay, the Zephyr hit points, 57,800. It's not enough. Okay, let's go here. Look at this. 22,600. It's not very high. If he's not really armed for that, I should really move him off. But this mech, let's see what he's got. 25,400. They have very low hit points. This is my strongest one. See if I can upgrade. No, not quite yet. But what I'm going to do right now is I gotta take care of some household stuff and play with my daughter and things like that. So I'm gonna try to get back on as soon as I can. But yeah, I wish the company, and I know that's a lot to ask because I've worked in game development before. It may be a big deal. My understanding from what people describe to me is that people disarm all their mechs, or that if you go into a death match, it's going to reload that one mech, right? So you remove all your mechs from the hangar except for that one. When you go into the deathmatch, and you put the biggest damage weapon that you've got. If you put all your mechs in your hangar, your squad power would be such that you would not be matched with little noobs like us, right? But to change that now, if they're looking at squad power in the code as a way to evaluate matching opponents or keeping the playing field level, it may be costly to change that. So people have essentially found a loophole, and I don't know if that's true. I don't be spreading false rumors and stuff like that, but that's what I've been hearing. People have, through the grapevine, they said, what happens on a deathmatch is pointless because people they remove all the mechs from their hangar except for one, and they put the super mech of death with the highest hit points, and then they just go and get MVP every single deathmatch, every single one, right? And that people have been complaining. I've heard that people have been complaining and that they were going to look at it, but I'm not sure that they're it may be actually costly to change the way the code matches opponents. But it sure would be nice if it could detect immediately before somebody goes into a deathmatch, because it's just more interesting if you're. It's sort of like if somebody can do that, it's not really skill, right? There's no point in me trying to beat somebody like that, right? Because I can't do it. If he can take one shot and kill my mech 3 times over with one bullet, what's gonna... It's like, why am I jumping out of my skin over that? I just might as well drop the mouse and put my hands together like this. So I would, I don't know. People like that, I don't think you should be allowed to do that. But I don't know how to block it, so we'll just have to figure out as we go. But I still love the game, and I'm still going to be diligent. Maybe I could figure out a way to fight these jerks. Oh, Barry Beast. You think the long arm is really overpowered. Well, if you think that's overpowered, you should have seen me get... did you see that? The way that guy killed me? I just quit. I just went following him around the whole deathmatch. I just stood in front of him. Hey, I'm here again. Kill me. What's the point, man? He'd take one shot and do 3 times the damage of any mech in my hangar with one shot, right? Because he's squad dropping. It means that he's emptying his... Before he goes into the deathmatch, he empties out the whole hangar except for one mech. And it's a super high hit point mech with the worst weapon that he's got, right? And then that means when he goes into the deathmatch, if somebody manages to kill him, it just reloads him at maximum power again, the same mech. Right? So you see this phenomena where, you've got on the deathmatch, every single win is a squad dropping MVP, right? You got one guy. There's 2 guys that got maybe 3 kills, and there's one guy that got 27, 30, or something like that. In 3 minutes, you get 30 or 9. Okay, think about it. You got a deathmatch in 9 minutes, you need 27 kills, right? In 9 minutes. How many kills is that? Right? 3 minutes. That's 9 kills in 60 seconds. Or a kill every 20 seconds, right? I guess, or something. I'm in an agitated state, I gotta go deal with some domestic stuff. But thanks for tuning in, and yeah, the long arm. Yeah, it's powerful. It's more powerful if you're further away from it. But there's worse than that, man. Those Arc Torrents and EM rifles, man. It's like we should not be being matched against opponents with that kind of firepower. But I guess it's sort of that way in real life. The United States attacks, El Salvador with all its military equipment and might. Like that, people in El Salvador are like, we want land reform because there's only 5 people that own all the land in the country, and everybody's poor. So we want to, share a little bit, And the United States levels all the military know-how equipment. We train people. When I was growing up here, we bring the Salvadoran paramilitaries up here to Georgia and train them at Fort Benning how to massacre, and they would go down and they shot the Archbishop of the country, The guy writes a letter to Jimmy Carter, the human rights president. Look, please don't send this military equipment and train these death squads. Man, they're just killing everybody. Please don't do that. The next thing you know, a guy goes into the Catholic Mass in El Salvador I think he had a Bible with a machine pistol, the Bible was hollowed out and like a pistol was in it, and he goes up to the altar and shoots the archbishop in the mouth. The guy just sent a letter to Jimmy Carter, please stop sending these weapons. And that's what happens. Yeah, that's not fair. But it is sort of like the world is, right? That's what happened in El Salvador, and if it happens in Macarena, that may be a sign that, it's just one of those ills of human civilization. People don't have any kind of code of honor in their heart that would stop them from doing something like finding a loophole and utilizing it like that. But it could be a mental state of vengeance, like they're very angry about getting their own mechs destroyed, and now they're just become a creature of vengeance, and all they want to do is destroy everybody's other mechs and make them feel unhappy too. But I don't feel unhappy. I think it kind of makes a humorous scenario for my stream. That it's obvious, it's obvious this guy shouldn't be in there, right? He's going to just kill everybody with a massive firepower. And I just, I literally walked across the whole deathmatch and nobody killed me or anything, and walk up to him and just stand there in front of him and wait for him to kill me and then reload and do the same thing. I think that's fun. It's sort of humorous. But anyway, enjoy life. You need to be happy. So take care. All right, I'm going to get on as soon as I can, but thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope we can my most powerful mech is a Long Arm 10 Ares. Yeah, that's the one that I work with the most. And it's got, a lot of people criticize me for having a heavy machine gun, but for me, the reason I use the weaker heavy machine gun on the mech is for psychological purposes. It has a very large magazine, and when that gun is firing at you, right, it sort of does throw you off. You're like, it sort of distracts you a little bit. You're like, that heavy machine gun, I can't totally ignore that. My hit points are going down and down and down. They're going down pretty slow, actually. But sometimes that distraction, like, here's one thing that I do with this combo. I sort of perform a lock with the heavy machine gun. In other words, I get the machine gun dead center on the mech, and I'm unloading into him before I drop a long arm shell, right? Because I don't want to waste the shell. I only have 5 shells, right? And they do something like 6,000 points of damage, right? A lot of times 1 or 2, if somebody's already been hit, 1 or 2 will take them out. So essentially what I do is when I'm assured that my machine gun bullets are hitting him in the place they need to be hitting him for the long arm to hit him, that's when I pop off the long arm shell. So you'll see this if you watch me how I'm playing. I'll be like, and then pow, I hit him with the long arm, and that destroys him. All right, and sorry for doing that. I don't want you to be mad, but it's just, I'm trying to. You just pay for bastard. I ain't got no money, child. Brother, man, I ain't got no coin. So yeah, I need to do it the hard way. Because I quit. I was at a school in a very, very rough neighborhood, and they were mistreating the kids. Not all of them. But man, that's one white teacher, man. She made my kids cry. Brought the kid to my math class, EIP math class, with tears running down his face. I can't teach a child math when you made him cry like that. Cracker, which is what she was. She didn't know what that is, man. But that's what she's doing to cover up the fact that she ain't a good teacher, right? And I could not take it, so I quit. And listen, I said this earlier. I want to do some free game development classes to teach people how to make their own games and possibly earn some coins in the real world of online game development. You can do it. You can make stuff for selling on CG Trader, and you can sell stuff make game assets to sell on Unreal Engine. And what I'm talking about is, like, I'm just going to say it's free. If you have not got money, right, because I'm going to call my kids' parents this summer, and tell them, ask them, and if they say they really want to get on the class, it'll be free. And then if you enjoy the class and you really learn something and you want to tip us or send us a tip or something, you can, but you don't have to, right? But I'm in here and I'm a noob in here because I have never really seriously tried to play these games. I didn't have time, but I did work in making games, and I taught how to develop these shooter games at university level with Dassault Virtuals and Unity. But I'm working up a curriculum for this summer for Unreal Engine, where I will talk about different plugins and stuff and how to make game environments. But so we'll keep in touch, right? And let's still try to match up sometime. This day to me is already shot. I've got too many domestic things to take care of. But I'm glad you got on, and let's plan on that. And look, I don't know what kind of computer you got, but I think your computer must be all right if you're playing Macarena. It's decent, at least. So why don't you do this? If you want to get ready for a class on how to make games, put Unreal Engine on your computer, and you get the free version of Unreal Engine. And the way it works is this: maybe you can't put Unreal Engine 5, right? Maybe you can't put that because maybe the computer's not good enough. But you could put the next one behind it, and it would be good enough, right? And if you can get ready in that area, then that will let us see where we're at as far as doing a class or something like that. And see, the thing is even if your computer cannot handle that stuff, I have things I can show you how to do, because I taught for many years, and I can run old software that can build games in the old-fashioned way. So maybe we can hook up on that. But at the moment, I've got to go. But thanks for tuning in. It's really good to see you again. And keep practicing. Don't get tense, and when people blow you away, don't sweat it, man. Especially when you go into a death match and you got what's a squad dropper like that. He's going to kill 27 people in 3 minutes, 10 mechs a second. Don't get upset about that. Just take it in stride. Might as well just hang those tickets up. It's no use to get tense, man, because if he can do 70,000 damage with one shot, man, you ain't going to withstand it. You might as well just laugh, stream it, and ridicule the guy. Because that's the thing I like about my stream in that sense. Is like, look, I got the most powerful mech. What I did just then on my stream is I said, look, this is the most powerful mech I have. And you step down there with your squad dropping mech, and you take one shot, and boom, he's off, right? So when I can regenerate him again, I'm just gonna walk through the whole, and I could walk across the whole deathmatch, and nobody could kill me with one shot, because they're my level. They're where they're supposed to be in the division level. They've been playing the same amount of time. They have basically the same kind of level, regional level of equipment. So it's a good match, and we have, it's like some skill comes in, like trying to do some psychological stuff or trip somebody out or do some trickier stuff. It still works, and that's something that it's useful. But as far as him, what benefit can I get from a guy like that? None. Well, I could do this. I could just say, I'm going to go and find a squad dropper, and I'm on my stream. I'm just going to go, okay, go ahead and kill me, and let him kill me. Because I can't touch him with 70,000 hit points and 70,000 damage on one shot. I can't touch him, right? So it's funny. It sort of shows the Emperor has no clothes. Here he comes. Look at that, squad dropper. There he goes, squad dropper. And he ain't wearing no clothes, right? It reveals the Emperor has no clothes, right? The man is cheating. And probably, this is just my theory, but these people that do that all the time, and it's been happening a lot on the death matches, the free-for-all death matches, which it kind of bums me out because I think they're funny if they're 5 minutes long. They're really enjoyable. But with a squad dropper like that, I'm not laughing. It's like I don't even have a chance to laugh because one mouse click and it's over. Right? But if I can, what I thought was funny It's like, let me just walk right out in the open and walk all the way across the floor until I get to the squad dropper, right? And then don't even fire at him, but just stand there. Go ahead, shoot me. And he's like, click, bam, and my mech is destroyed. I think that's kind of funny. And it also shows he's stupid. All right, no, but about my attention deficit, it's there, it's real. But what I was going to say is that my theory is that the reason these people are doing this, squad dropping stuff, is that they're low level and they're all upset because they're getting killed all the time. Everybody, they get beat, they don't have the skill to win, they can't figure out how to navigate, get the rewards and the objective, all the objectives knocked out. And because, you know, some kids can't read. You know, my daughter cannot read all the things she's supposed to do yet. Her objective is to get the most coins. She's not at that reading level, right? But I approve of her looking at it because it makes her realize, oh, I need to read to be able to win, right? But say a squad dropper, here's a guy, maybe he's 12 years old, you know, or something like that, and he gets on Mech Arena and they beat him every time and he gets mad, right? And he gets angry and he says, how do I get back and get my revenge? And somebody says, well, you do it by squad dropping. Go to the deathmatch, unload all your mechs except one, right? Put your most hellish weapon on that one mech, and then the system will match you with people wrongly where they cannot withstand you, right? In other words, if the system is looking at the squad power, if the game system is looking at the squad power and matching you against that, but you have emptied your whole squad, there's only one mech in there. Every time it reloads, it's going to be fully locked and loaded with the most hideous, monstrous, robotic, maniacal Doom machine that you have, with full magazines, right? And it's a way to win. And so it's like they're going around like they know something. And if you watch my stream, I will say, look, I missed. That sucks. That is, okay, it's like playing guitar. You don't play guitar and play the wrong notes at the wrong time. When you see somebody get up and they play a song and it's so tight, and they're playing that, and hitting all those notes, they put their finger where it's supposed to be, when it's supposed to be there every time. That's a skill. It doesn't happen overnight. It's the same way with a shooter game, right? And I will say on mine, I will say, look at that. You can look at the stream and go, look, I had the dot on the bot. I should have clicked it. Why didn't I click? And I can tell in my own mind that I was telling my finger, you need to click, he's gone. It's too late, right? And I'll say on my stream, that's my reaction time. That means I need to practice. Anger is not going to help. It's not going to make you get better. It's like a piano player. You're not going to be able to play the piano by getting all frustrated and angry at people. You got to play it, man. Machine Gun Kelly said, it's an instrument. Play it, right? Talking about the 45 caliber Tommy gun, the semi-automatic. Machine Gun Kelly was one of those gangsters that was an expert at the Tommy gun. And he said that. He said, it's an instrument. Like a musical instrument. Play it, right? And that's kind of evil thing to say, but I would say in a way, if you play these games the right way, you can actually be against evil and against violence and help people get their mind in the right place. And so, I'm waxing philosophic here. I don't know if you know what that is, waxing philosophic. But if you read in the Bible, there's a book called the Book of Job, right? And all kind of bad things happen to him. Basically, Satan, in the Bible, Satan works for God. He's on the angel administration, whatever. And Satan that means obstacle, right? And he's the angel. It's his responsibility to block people, get in people's way and stop them from what they're supposed to be doing, right? So in the book of Job, Satan goes into he's on a council in heaven or whatever, and it's his job to be against people. And God says, well, here I got this righteous man, Job, and look, he's doing everything the right thing, and all these blessings are showering on him. And Satan says, well, that's because he's got money, right? You take away his money and stuff, he's going to curse you. Well, okay, so he says, and I'm paraphrasing here, he goes and takes away all these disasters, and Satan comes back. Well, I think it's like his children, he's got money. You take away that, he'll curse you. And God's like, well, no, he won't. So go do that. That's your job, Satan. You go down there and take all that stuff away because he's good. And I'm going to show he's really a special person. That Job is a special person. You need to go down there and kill his children and take away all his money and stuff. And he went down there and he did it. And Job did not curse God because he was really on the right, he was on the right path. But in the world, there's more going on than one single person in the world. More than just one person in the world. There's all of history unfolding. And all the people that will come in the future and everything are involved, And God, of course, is even bigger than that. He laid the foundations of the firmament. You can say that's mythology and stuff like that. It is sort of mythology and stuff like that. But it's the notion that you get if there's a true God, he is the real one. Right? And he does have power over everything. He does control the outcome of everything. So then Satan comes back and he's like, and God's like, see, I told you, he's still good, even though all that disaster happened to him. Right? And then Satan says, well, no, this is the deal. It's because you haven't hit him in the body. You haven't hit his physical body yet. That's why he has not cursed you. If you let me punch him there, make him sick, then he's going to curse you. And God's like, no, he's not. You're just going ahead and do it because he's. And God of course knew, but God, in a sense, what you get, maybe this is a mythological story or tradition about that, but it's making a statement about being on the right path and doing all the right good things, even though it doesn't seem like it's working for you. It's like what Satan was saying. He was saying, look, he's a millionaire and he's got all these children and everything, every single possible blessing. He doesn't, he's not real. If you take his money, man, he's going to curse you. And God said, no, he's not. Go do it, right? I used to have a hard time reading that. And I was like, God, you're terrible to do that. Let Satan go and do that stuff. But I did not understand. Oftentimes I would tell people, if you're going to read the book of Job, go after all the calamities happen to him. And Job literally says around chapter 14, he says, I want you to reincarnationalize me. I think it's Job 14:14. He says, send me back into the dust of the ground until you're not. Job believes that these disasters are happening because somehow God is angry. Somehow God is angry at him, right? And he says, I want you to just reincarnate me when you're not angry anymore because I do not want to live. I cannot. And Job, I think this is a sense of the experience that these ancient people had that was different from like the Egyptian religion, right? Where some of the Egyptians in that time when this monotheism idea developed, they were having experiences where they were like, there's all these Egyptian gods and stuff, and people collecting all this money, all these priesthoods of the different gods and stuff. And I don't think it's real, sometimes we give them money and it works, and sometimes it don't, and I don't believe it's real. And people were searching in their mind. They, of course, could not imagine a world without gods, right? Because sometimes they prayed and their prayer was answered, right? Think about people in ancient time. They're like, God, please help me, right? And then something good happens, and I've seen it myself. Chinese people will pray to a bodhisattva. They'll go to a holy person, and you don't even have the person anymore. They passed away a long time ago. But they were considered so holy that they were called a bodhisattva, or in Chinese they call it a pusa. And still to this day, when people are really, really desperate, they will go pray to a statue of this old man, a pusa. And if their prayer is answered, they really believe it, and they go back and they throw money into where the statue is. They'll have a glass enclosure around the statue, and the people are like, I could not have a baby, and I prayed to the Poussin Passa or whatever, and I got a baby. It must be true. So that's what imagine what people were experiencing back in Egypt. You know, so Job, basically, if you start reading the book of Job from chapter 14 or so, where Job is like, send me back into the limbo, you know, let me go. And back then they didn't have hell or Gehenna or anything, because that's a very old book, right? And they didn't believe it or even know this Greek idea of hell, right? So the real Jewish people back then, they believed that you go into the ground, back into the dust, into sort of a ghostly limbo state, a place underground like caves or whatever called Sheol, right? So Job says, send me back into Sheol until you're not mad at me anymore. Now, what does this have to do with people that are all twisted out in their mind and stuff on Mech Arena? Right? What you do is you have to accept that even if you do everything right, there's more going on in the world than just you. And sometimes it's not going to work. And if you turn into a creature of vengeance where you're like, I just want to hack the game, I want to cheat it, I want to something like that, what you've done is you turn, like a Hindu would say, you are deluded. Shiva, for Hindus, the God of the universe, which is like the God of Abraham, the absolute real God, right? Everything in your mind is what's called Shiva Maya, right? Which is the delusion of your material existence, right? So if you're mad and angry and raging or whatever, and you're trying to cheat the game and hack it and be a squad dropper and go all over the place and do that stuff, right? Really, God is there, but you've lost any help that you're going to get from God, right? God is like limiting the way Hindus say it is this. God limits his power in you. God will limit his power in you by the delusion of your material existence. So I'm saying a squad dropper is in Shiva Maya, or he's deluded in his anger, right? And until he just accepts things and say, you know what, I need this. I need to look online. I need to ask advice, and stops cheating and starts playing fair, he's like lost. He's like if Job had cursed God and died, he would have been lost forever. But Job, if you finally get through the book, he never cursed God, and he lost all his children and all his money, and then his whole body was covered with sickness, and he still stayed on the right track. He still did the right thing, and all God's blessings returned to him. But God appears to him in a whirlwind, like in a tornado, and gets real with him, keeping it real. He's like, where were you? You know, you're sitting up here crying about all the disasters that have happened to you. What is that? Where were you when I laid the foundations of the firmament? Right? So humility is the beginning of wisdom, knowing that we don't know nothing and we ain't skilled at nothing, and it's only through seeking truth and seeking justice, seeking mercy, and seeking godly things that we can really have a better chance of a better life.